natural way to lower blood pressure? In this video, I'm going to tell you. My name is Dr. Story. I've been in practice for over 25 years. I'm going to give you realistic advice based on my experience and based on the scientific literature. Now, there's 3 things that you can do, and if you like this type of video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, you are allowed to ask in the comment section down below, and I will try to get to your questions. Now, your blood pressure, unless it's totally genetic, is really a reflection of the chemistry that hardens your arteries. If you do anything that starts to harden your arteries and increase the pressure, it's really usually a chemical problem. So let's go into number 1, the diet. Now, unless you have a propensity towards kidney stones, there are certain foods that will help reduce the hardness of the arteries. And primarily the ones that I like to eat are broccoli, spinach, and beets. These 3 types of things have nitrates in them, and these nitrates will convert into nitric oxide, which helps dilate our blood vessels, thus reducing our blood pressure. And if you'd like to learn how to make these foods easy to eat so that they taste good, at the end of this video, I'm going to put a link somewhere down at the bottom of a smoothie recipe that I use where I include some of these foods to make them taste good. Number 2, and the most confusing, is the exercise. Now, if you're doing exercise such as heavy weightlifting or high intensity interval training, that's not really what you want to do if you have high blood pressure. Aerobic activity, such as when you raise your heart rate to a certain level and you maintain it for a period of time, is the most beneficial for your blood pressure. I get a lot of questions where people say, well, can I do this? Can I do that? And if it's not aerobic, where you raise your heart rate and maintain that for a period of time, then that's not what you want to do. Kind of the standard weightlifting where you go and you really strain hard for about 30 seconds for 10 repetitions, and then you rest for 5 minutes in between each repetition is not what you want. Things like riding a bicycle, walking fast, rowing, swimming, hiking, anything like that. Again, the criteria is if you can raise your heart rate and maintain it for a period of time, that's the best type of exercise that you can do for your blood pressure. The third and final thing that you can do is you can control your mental state. Stress has a lot of problems, and one of the things about stress is that it will cause you to release certain hormones that have an effect to harden our arteries. And at the end of this video, somewhere on the opposite of the other video, I will put a way to do deep breathing exercise. And if you practice that once a day, it will actually lower your blood pressure instantly. But if you practice it for a long period of time and do it every day, it also has a chronic effect, much like brushing your teeth. So here's the important part. And if you're with me right now, I appreciate this, appreciate watching in my videos. But to get rid of your high blood pressure naturally, it really takes a very consuming part of your life in the beginning, but it's not that big of a deal in the long run. So the breathing exercise, I'm going to put on this side. Make sure and watch that video, watch it carefully, and practice that every day. It really only takes you a couple of minutes per day. The second thing is right here, I'm going to put on this side that smoothie recipe. You need to change the chemistry in your body if you're going to change this naturally. And you need to consume food. Some of these foods don't necessarily taste good, so I've come up with a way to make them taste good by putting them into a smoothie. And that is right there.